Good morning, traders. Welcome back to another live stream. If you are new, my name is Zach. This is Real Deal Futures. Before we hop onto the charts, we got a lot to talk about today, traders. A lot to talk about. Before we hop onto the charts, before we jump into any of that, make sure you read what's on the screen. Trading is very risky. Most traders lose money, even with prop firms. It's a crazy thing to do. Nobody should trade. If you, Damn, why is my headphone messed up? Hang on, that's not part of the disclaimer. There we go. I'm not a financial advisor. I don't provide financial advice. Nothing I say or do is a suggestion or recommendation to do anything at all. Make sure you do your own research, make your own trading decisions. Read CFTC Rule 4.41 on simulated trading, which is what this is, even in funded prop firm accounts. And the affiliate and partnership disclaimer that says I stand to make money from links and codes in my content, like Top of Futures, code RDF, Bookmap, and others. Chat! What's going on, guys? Hang on. I know you can still hear me. Hang on. I gotta fix something here. How are we doing today, guys? How are we doing today? Happy Monday. New week, new month, March 2nd. We got some big stuff coming today, guys. Big stuff coming today. Before we hop into too much of it, let's hop onto the charts. Yes, I have some white colors on my chart today. I essentially just inverse the colors. Keeping it fresh, waking my ass up for March. We're gonna play with some white charts. We'll see if I like it after today. We have quite a bit. Before the market opens up in about 5 minutes, I want to talk about this before we jump into prop firms, before we jump into the new stuff from Top 1 that should be coming out in about 30 minutes, 10 a.m. Eastern. I think we might have something new to talk about. I don't know. But let's talk about markets first, guys. If you're going to trade today, I think it's really important that we talk about some of this stuff. We have major conflict going on in the Middle East. I'm not going to discuss the conflict in general or specifically. We have a conflict going on, right, that the U.S. is involved in. If we're trading on the U.S. indices or maybe gold, silver, or anything to do with really any market, you have a chance to be impacted, right? What does this typically look like if we have conflict, if we have war, if we have any outside driver? An increase in volatility, right? Maybe you are going to play the fundamentals and say, you know, war bad, you know, U.S. indices go down, gold goes up, you know, maybe you're going to like, you know, play it that way. At very least, I think be aware that we have potential for an increase in volatility. Potential, right? Anything could happen. Maybe it's a normal day. And to decide to measure for that, account for that volatility, and decide how and when to structure your trades around that volatility, right? So for me, I'm here on YM on the same Top 1 Futures 15K live account. Took another payout after Friday. Took it on Saturday. 16 payouts from this bad boy. We're going to look to trade similarly to the way that I do every other day, but I'm going to be cautious, right? I'm going to say, well, what does this 15-minute chart really look like, right? How fast are we moving here? Do I have to hop over to micros, which I will really quickly? Do I have to size down and widen out, you know, stop loss and take profit, right? You know, really important to note that. So, whatever you do, use an ATR, use a measurement tool, right? Use something so you can measure the volatility, right? And account for that and decide if and when and how you want to trade. So let's go around the horn real quick on these and take a look. This is YM on the daily chart. We opened up, gap down, and we've cracked prior day and week lows, right? We got a little doji candle forming here. We don't have an insane amount of movement, but there certainly isn't nothing, right? Here we go, measuring some volatility, measuring some movement. This is certainly not nothing on YM here, right? You know, we have over 1% move for the daily candles so far, 550 some odd points, right? So this is looking pretty weak, right? So far, gap down, push to the downside. Now let's take a look at going around the horn real quick just to see what these did today, right? NQ, similar move, right? Push to the downside. Do we gap and then fill? And we didn't quite fill it, but we gapped down, popped right back up, and then we sold off. We've been holding below VWAP. Let's take a look at ES. Just go around before we open up here. Can we look at the one daily? Similar move out of all of these. You know, not quite as aggressive, right? Not cracking all of these lows here, where like on YM, for example, what I'm going to be looking to trade, we did crack all of those lows. So, you know, weakness, right? Showing some weakness. We are opening up right now, 9:30 a.m. I'm cautious coming into today, guys, right? I am not looking to trade this opening candle. You know, also you could decide, maybe you shift your structure a little bit. For me, market open after war is breaking out on on Saturday, over the weekend, you might say this is great opportunity. This is the best time to trade. We have, a massive potential for a big movement. I would agree with you. I think we do, right? It's not my MO, at least here on YM, right? It's certainly not the strategy here on YM. Maybe aggressively in sim accounts, trading NQ, right, on low time frames, scaling into positions as we start to run in one direction, right? Something along those lines. It's not really what I want to do here on YM. So where on other days, I'd also be ready to enter right off of the open, I'm going to keep myself out for at least 10 minutes. I just want to see how this market opens up. It wasn't as big of a reaction as I kind of anticipated. I thought a lot of traders anticipated overnight. But I do want to watch how this market opens up, and I'm going to say, about 10 minutes, right? We start to rip in one direction, we start to do something crazy, cool, I'm sitting patient. I'm going to mark out some zones with you guys, above and below price. Let's hop way out. Let's look at the 1 hour. I think this could certainly be an interesting level if we come all the way back up. Well, you know what? Let's take a look at the gap real quick. So again, not going to do anything crazy, not going to jump into anything absolutely insane. I'm going to go ahead and mark Friday's low, rather. To start, I do want to take a look at where that is for today's trading day. We can use some different gray colored lines to keep this chart nice and clean. And I will mark out this bad boy up here, just to throw a couple lines on the chart. I do want to see where that, where that close, that low from Friday up here was, where we opened up, big push to the downside with a gap. Friday's low over here. If we start to look out, let me go to like the 4 hour. If we start to look out left, right, I got to zoom way out to see left, right? Like what's below this low? This bad boy, and then like, way down here. So if we start to zoom out, like really, really zoomed out, like if we were going to sell off today, if we were going to push lower, a lot of people calling for shorts, a lot of people calling for, longs on metals, shorts on US indices, where do I think we could start to push? Yeah, all the way down here, right? Down below this low, looking left, down below the low of day here, down into this area of high volume, right? Some of these highs and lows looking way over here from October and November. This is very zoomed out, right? We start to get down below that level. This would be a really big push to the downside, and I don't know that we see anything like this today, but I'm going to mark this out, like just in case we get some craziness that starts to come into the markets, right? High volume node, really simply. I can mark it straight off of that high volume node, but I do like to look left and see, look at all this impulsive price action. Areas have been tested as highs and then really, really aggressive movements to the downside. Difficulty breaking above and below. I like that for a zone to the downside. So that's 47,000, 277s to 47,100s. This one up here is 48,050s to, let's say, like low 900s, 49,000, low 900s, 930s. In between this, I don't really need too much zones, right? We do have this level right here that we're trading. I would certainly say this is a key area of interest. I'm probably not going to leave a zone right over price. It just doesn't help me that much. But I think we're at a key area of interest right here, right? Zoomed out, we got a pretty important high over here from November. You can see all of these lows, the low end of this really big choppy consolidating range, right? And then line over here, which was Friday's low. And then, line over here, which is the gap. Yeah, I'm just marking this out with you guys here, articulating what I'm doing. Yeah, if we push to the upside, back above the 48,900s, all the way up here. I'm not going to start marking too many zones above, but if I had to mark something, if we really started to get above this level, what would I be marking? Right here, right? Price action, market structure, right in here. Again, guys, this is really zoomed out on the 4 hour. Yeah, I'd mark like off of all these lows. I'd say like that's an interesting spot. I kind of like the white chart. I'm not going to lie, guys. I kind of like this white chart. All right, we got some areas of interest marked up. I'm going to wait to see what YM's got for us today. Again, everybody's going to approach these markets differently. In general, and then certainly with news breaking, right? With war breaking out. Everyone's going to approach this differently. Unless I'm ready, which I'm preparing myself to do, to trade NQ on low time frames or whatever, with a lot of aggression, trading momentum, I really just want to let the market open up, which is what I'm doing right now. So maybe one day I'm aggressively trading 30 seconds into NYSE open, maybe we see that coming up soon from me on NQ. We see that in some sim accounts, but not for YM. YM, I'm really level to level, mean reversion style, area of interest to area of interest, high volume node to high volume node, a little bit of order flow mixed in there, a little bit of discretion. And that's what I want to see today. So I'm interested in what happens if we get all the way up to the 48,700s. I'm not going to point out a clear long or a short here. I really don't want to jump in and even have anything on my chart where I say I want to get long or I want to get short at this point. Again, pretty muted open for like what I think a lot of traders were expecting. Nothing too crazy just yet, at least out of YM. Let's see what NQ's doing. We definitely have some movement out of NQ. That's some serious movement out of NQ. Decent movement out of ES as well. I'm staying patient on this, guys. I think a lot of people are going to get smoked this morning. A lot of people are going to make a lot of money, but you know, if you're not ready for that, if that's not in your playbook, what the hell are you doing? So, we're marked up, ready to roll, chat. Let's see. All right, the same thing that I repeat all the time. Just checking some notes. I'm going to be looking down a little bit today, guys, because I'm checking some. I am checking some notes here. Just checking messages in real time to see what we got rolling today. Let's see. Awesome. All right. Cool. We're going to see what we got coming up. Guys. We have chat. How are we doing this morning? We didn't even really say good morning. What's up, chat? Let's give chat some love. What's happening, guys? How are you guys feeling today? How's everybody doing on this Monday? Throw some links in chat here. Make sure you guys got all the sauce. What's up on Kick? What's happening, y'all? What's up on YouTube? What's up on X? We should be live across everything. What's happening? Good morning, Digital Nukes. What's up? Morning, guys. Morning, Zach. Morning, all. Let's go. Volatile day for markets and big reveal for top one. Yeah, we got some stuff coming up, man. I did get some notes on some restrictions on metals and gas and oils. Good afternoon, Zach. Good afternoon. Top one restricted commodities. This sucks. Crazy volatility. I think it's going to call for some restriction, but we're going to see. I'll read into it right now. I think they were really doing an announcement as I was going live, so honestly, guys, I haven't really read too much on it at all. How to join giveaway? Hang out, guys. Good morning, Zach. Good morning, guys. Good morning. Not really used to the news events. Can you chill? Good morning, 10 a.m. Red Folder News. Yep. We'll talk about that. Got hit by news now. Likely taking a break for the week. I feel that, man. I feel that. What? Bad? I lost it all. My evals funded. What? God, are you joking around? What is this? What is this? I lost all my evals funded and all of my money trying to make the eval money back with sports betting. I don't know that you're on a good path, my brother in Christ, but you know, I'm not one to judge, so we'll let you maybe elaborate on that a little bit. I'm laughing because I don't know if you're joking around, because it just seems like a funny comment, but if you're not, I would probably say don't try to make your money back doing anything. I would probably just wrap it up for a while and take a break. Let me check what we got going on. Here, guys, because we got a couple of notes coming in. Let's see. So, announcement from Top One this morning. Yeah, this was right before I was hopping on live. So, announcement from Top One this morning. Due to extreme volatility surrounding the war in Iran, we're temporarily restricting the following commodities beginning at 5 p.m. Eastern. So, end of day today. they're restricting. Looks like, looks like gold, silver, crude oil, right? Looks like natural gas. We'll reassess the position. Looks like 2 weeks. We'll let you know right away if there's any updates. So, they've held out a long time. They've held out a long time doing that. You saw when silver started to go crazy and gold started to go crazy, a lot of firms restricted it. A lot of firms took it off. A lot of firms just completely dropped down the amount of contracts that you would trade. It was really cool that Top One had not done that, right? At least from the trader perspective. But it looks like coming into today, they are. Now, I've seen this from a lot of brokers as well. A lot of brokers have increased margin requirements, right? It's just a risk management, standpoint, a call from them. Of course, I'd love the ultimate amount of leverage where we're all able to trade, 100 minis if we wanted to, right? But I do understand the decision to restrict that. For me, doesn't bother me too much because I don't really trade any of those at all, so it doesn't affect me. But if you are a gold trader or a silver trader, right, primarily, I think a lot of people do trade gold for sure. That could be a little bit of a pain in the butt. So, important to note that. But we got something else coming. We got something else coming from them. Coming up at about 10 a.m. That's the expected time. We shall see. We shall see. Let's see what we get here, guys. So I'm just checking a couple notes because, like I said, I'm going to be looking down a little bit as markets moving to the upside here. Curious to see what happens up above these 48,700s, up above Friday's high, up above the high from pre-market, right into this area. I am actually really curious to see what happens up here if we start to get any kind of reaction. Start to watch this on YM's Bookmap as well. Just checking a couple notes because I'm getting messages as they roll in real time. We got a lot going on today, a lot in the prop firm space, a lot in the news, for sure. So I do want to make sure that I'm trying to provide the best info, most current info that I possibly can. Let's see, Chatty McChat. Cool. Good morning. So cooked. Oh, I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry to hear it. Copper's my jam. Yeah, so Gaw that said that in the chat, man. I would not do. I mean, listen, I'm not a financial advisor. I don't provide financial advice, right? I'm just an idiot from YouTube. So you do whatever you want to do. But based on what you said there in that comment, I would not try to make money back doing anything, right? I wouldn't try to make money, doing sports betting or trading even, right? You go on tilt and you blow everything, you clean out everything. I would take a break. That's a clear indication to completely step back. You have an Achilles heel that has to be, corrected first. If you just keep hammering it, it's like driving with the wheels falling off of a car. I definitely would not do that. I would definitely step back, take a break, and then, decide how you want to move forward with a clear head. But trying to make back money is a kiss of death, almost always. Quick note, guys. Someone did call out. We do have Red Folder News at, let's talk about the week coming up. Red Folder News at 10 a.m. That's about 9:44 a.m. Eastern, 15 minutes from now. ISM Manufacturing PMI, not a massive one. I mean, today I think could be really volatile as it is. Not insane yet. Really not insane yet, honestly. But we got conflict in the Middle East, right? Obviously, you can see some of this stuff, getting posted up. But we'll look at 10 a.m. That could be dicey. Rest of the week, just so you guys are aware, so you know what I got going on. No live the rest of the week. I will be traveling. I got awesome stuff going on. I'm super grateful to be partnered up and teaming up with a bunch of traders in the space. Also just getting invited to speak to different places on different trips. This is really awesome, man. So tomorrow I'll be down in Miami doing a bunch of podcasts and roundtables with different traders. And then after that, Wednesday, headed to Colombia with a bunch of guys from the Top One Futures team. It's going to be awesome. A ton of content from down there. We're going to be vlogging a whole bunch of stuff, which would be cool. But no, just check it back as we start to push these highs. No live trading Tuesday through Friday. If I do something live, I'll let you guys know. Always, you can stay updated in Discord. But looking at news as we push these highs, real quick. Red folder on Wednesday. That could be dicey. And then obviously big one is going to be Friday. Red folder unemployment on 8:30 a.m. as well. 8:30 a.m. on Friday here. Definitely the big one, right? Non-farm is going to always be a big one, or a decently big one. So watch out for that if you are trading into the end of the week. YM, man. YM. Gap down. Trap shorts. Right? And then what do we do at the open? Blast to the upside. Blast to the upside. So I'm trying to decide here, because we're coming up to an area where, you know, we could be looking at a short here. I'm not really inclined to fade this today. I'm really not inclined. What the hell? What the helly? I'm really not inclined to fade this today. I'm just framing this out, right? On another day, we are popping it off to the upside, right? Popping to the upside. Cracking above pre-market high, testing prior day high, Friday's low, right? Lows of the week. This is a good spot, a potential spot to expect sellers to at least try to put up a fight, right? At least try to bring us back down to VWAP, bring us down to current volume point of control. Now, I don't like this for two reasons. Number one, we're blasted to the upside. We got a ton going on fundamentally that is causing movement in the market. I don't love jumping in short and fading the direction that the market is deciding that it wants to move, at least for now, right? You know, this is not super close to the open, but we're starting with this daily candle here, right? Pushed to the upside. I'm cautious against fading this thing today. I really am. I'd much prefer a continuation style trade if I had to take anything today. But reason number two, we got a big high volume node up here. We got a big key level of interest right up here, all the way up into these highs. But you can see it as I zoom in just on the 15-minute chart. It's prior day's volume point of control, right? We have a naked point of control from Friday, right? And a nice key high volume node. After that sell-off, we chopped around here quite a bit. I think we could pop right up to this area. So I don't like this trade. I don't like the trade for, you know, these shorts. I probably have to adjust the color. Yeah, I have to adjust the color of these to make these things a different color. I don't like the shorts, you know, for that move right here, because I think we could easily pull one of these. I think we could easily pull one of these to come up to this area. This is, you know, a valid play. I wouldn't be stepping out of line today by taking this short right in here, right? You know, by running my standard stop loss and take profit, and you know, saying, hey, we're above pre-market Asia London highs, we're back to Friday's low, right? We're stepping outside of this, you know, pretty decent area of interest that we've put in. I'm gonna fade this, pop to the upside off the open right back. It's not a really aggressive move off the open. We're coming into 20 minutes where we're continuing to drive higher. Again, we got a lot fundamentally going on today that I'm really cautious jumping in front of. If we're going to decide to move higher today, I think we could trap shorts overnight with the gap down and then just rip. And I just don't like having a stop loss here, which is where I would have to have it. I hate having a stop loss here. It's really not a good spot. So for all of those reasons, I'm going to stay out of this, guys, but I am pointing out, right, you could probably assume where I'd be entering the market almost every damn day. This is it, like right here, right above the highs, right, 48,000, excuse me, 48,740s, let's say, on a short play. You know, standard stop loss or max stop loss on a mini for me is about that $1,000 worth of risk. That's what I've been working with in the top one account. I'd say you need every bit of that, and honestly, it's really not where it needs to be. So again, I'm not taking this. And then what would be targets on this one? Back towards VWAP, back towards current volume point of control, you know, from today's session volume profile, daily volume profile here. You know, maybe even just right back into these highs if you wanted to be a little bit more conservative with it. That would be the play. You know, gun to my head, if I had to take a trade, that's the trade. I don't have to. I really am picky here on YM in the top one live account. I'm not taking a bunch of just random scalpy dumb trades. Not that I think that that's what this is, but I'm gonna forego this. I'm gonna forego this one. I will hide this position tool because this is something I'd want to journal, right? You know, am I being too conservative on a day like today? Not jumping in right here, you know, running this bad boy short back towards VWAP, somewhat similar to what I do every day because we got conflict in the Middle East. You know, we got news coming out in 10 minutes. We got a high volume node up here, yesterday's volume point of control that I'm trying to avoid having a stop out area for, you know, or does this push to the upside and, you know, I'm good for keeping myself out? We shall see. But if you were looking for a trade idea, if you're, you know, looking for my setup, right, my setup coming, that's it right here. I'm going to wait. I'm not going to not take a trade here. I'm going to wait. I'm going to see if we pop higher. I'm going to see if we push farther into this. We come up here to try to come back to fill this gap right here to the downside. Then we come up to this area of interest, at least higher up here. So I could have a stop loss like way outside of this area, right? I wouldn't even mind really something like that. But you know, I'm gonna not jump in right here. I'd also like to get past 10 a.m. news, although I don't think it's anything too crazy. It's coming up in about 8 minutes, guys. Let's see. Chat. What do we think, guys? You let me know. What do we think? Again, I'm not taking this. I'm not in this right now. This is me framing a trade idea. If I had to take something, right? Let me make it an even number of like what the, let's make it 40. Let's make it exact. It's probably what we would be looking at, right? Let's make it easy. And again, what you could do if you're not going to take trades, right? I think something that could be helpful, right? If you're not going to put a trade on, maybe you're in an account like this one that you're not looking to just take crazy trades. There's news coming up. You could always throw a position tool on the chart, and then you could hide it if you wanted to, right? You could right click, and then you could hit hide, and then you could bring it back up by going to the object tree, you know, if you wanted to. And this way you can kind of go back throughout the day and say, well, I framed out something here. I was interested here. I kept myself out for XYZ reasons that we just discussed. But what does this look like, right? You know, what is this? How did this play out, right? And then, you know, maybe you have enough of those where you're like, hey, you know what? Every single one of these that I don't take, they're getting stopped out. Good job. I'm going to, you know, not take these. Or you say, hey, you know what? You know, 9 out of 10, 8 out of 10 of these that I don't take, that I map out, they end up being winners, right? But if you don't kind of have that iterative process, you're doing yourself a disservice by just watching the market, you know? So again, if I had to take a trade, you know, that's it. But again, I'm staying cautious on this one, guys. Staying patient on this. I would, if I'm gonna short it, I want it from higher. I want it from a really aggressive move to the upside. You know, for a potential reversion, a potential pullback. But like I said, I'd almost like a continuation move better today. I'm interested to see what happens if we pull back down, right? And you know, we don't catch this. We start to do something like this down here. I could be interested on a continuation move to the upside. We completely reverse and sell off. You know, we'll have to see. But I'm definitely paying attention today. I think we got a lot of potential today. So staying patient. No trade so far, guys. Mapping something out that, you know, if I had to take one, it's kind of what I'd be looking at, but we're not going to do anything too crazy today. Checking some messages, guys, because I think we got something coming up. I think we got something big coming up, guys. Hold on. Are we almost live here? Are we almost live on what I've been talking about from last week? Hang on, guys. Hang on. Hang on, chat. Chatty McChat. Uh-oh. We got some new info coming, guys. Hold on. I think we might have something here. Let me confirm this real quick so I don't get in trouble. Yeah, we got new accounts launching from Top 1 Futures. If that wasn't abundantly clear, we got some badass new accounts launching from Top 1 Futures. All right. I think we got something here. Guys, we have new accounts launching right here, right now from Top 1 Futures. Give me 1 second. I'm going to pull the site up. I'm going to break it all down. I'm actually just hitting go on a YouTube video that I have that I'm trying to make sure is uploaded so I can share it all so I don't have to repeat myself 1,000 times. Hang on, hang on. Hang on, chat. Hang on, chat. I'm sorry. I'm trying to do 47,000 different things at the same time. Hang on 1 second, guys. I hate trying to do this. I can't ever be fast enough. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. All right. We have brand new accounts launching right here, right now from Top 1 Futures. I'm going to throw the link in the chat. Before I even break these down, guys, start talking about them, start answering some questions, I'm going to let you know we got something special for the stream, as we almost always do. Link is in the chat to check these out. Code RDF is going to get you the best deal on these, which is 50% off. It's going to get you the prices on these accounts up here on the screen. But also, along with that, everybody that purchases an account today with my code, here's going to be the giveaway for today, guys. Since these new accounts are launching, since I want to give back to you guys as you are maybe taking advantage of these new accounts, and to the people that are supporting me, supporting the stream, supporting themselves, using the code, everybody that uses code RDF today to purchase one of these accounts from Top 1 Futures gets an entry to win one of 5 of these accounts. I'll be picking the winners later this week. If you are gonna purchase one of these accounts and you use code RDF because you decide it's a good thing for you to do, it's a good opportunity for you, because remember, I'm partnered, I'm biased, I stand to make money, I can't be unbiased. Important for me to note that, for me to be transparent, for you to do your own research and make your own decisions. For everybody that uses code RDF, you're entered to win one of 5 of these accounts as well. But let's go ahead and talk about this, man, because we got some sick stuff rolling out. Here's the brand new accounts. They are called Elite Daily. These are an evaluation style account. So these are not an instant funded account. You guys can drop questions in the chat. I'll be talking about it for a minute. We'll be answering questions. We'll be looking at all this stuff. We have a end of day trailing, 3-day to pass. Why am I getting feedback now? 3-day to pass evaluation, okay? There's a 45% consistency in the evaluation. So you start out with $109. Let's look at the 50K, for example. $109 into an evaluation. No activation fee. So if you pass, no activation fee. If you fail, you're up against resetting or just not, doing anything. You have to hit a $3,000 profit target before you hit a $2,000 max loss limit. Pretty standard as far as max loss limits and profit targets go in the eval, right? You have, again, end of day trailing drawdown, 3 minimum days to pass. You can trade up to 3 minis, 30 micros. Really, really sweet. Now let's talk about the funded account. What you have to do to get paid out on these bad boys. And if you want the full details, I got videos launching right now on my YouTube. If you have questions, feel free to ask. Once you're into the funded account, these are, let me clear my throat. These are no consistency, daily payout, end of day trailing drawdown funded accounts. Yes, you can take a payout from day 1 of the funded account. You can have any type of winning day on day 1 that you like. There is no consistency rule in the funded account. There's no minimum trading days, no minimum profitable trading days where you have no consistency rule, but you have to put up 5 minimum $150 days or something like that. None of that nonsense. Straight into the funded account. Once you pass that eval, you are ready from day 1. Now, what the hell do you need to do to get paid out in the funded account? you have to put up past the $2,000 buffer. So similar to a lot of the other daily payout accounts, what do you have to do? Past $2,000, which is your trailing max loss limit, you have to lock the max loss limit. You are eligible to withdraw up to every day, profit past that point. Let's draw some examples here. What's the payout cap? What's the fastest you can work towards a payout? What do you have to do to put up the big stuff? In the 50K account, these are all different by account sizes, you're eligible, if you meet the requirements, you're eligible to put up $1,000 daily payout every damn day as soon as you get past that $2,000 buffer. So, for example, you get into the account day one, you put up $3,000 in the funded account, you're eligible to withdraw $1,000. Standard 90-10 profit split on these bad boys. Now, let's continue on from here. You say, hey, Zach, that's a tight payout cap. I want to put up a ton of money. That's awesome. Guess what? You can take $1,000 out the next day and the next day, okay? You can also copy trade 5 of these accounts. You could be copy trading for a $5,000 payout every damn day by putting up $3,000 and then putting up another $1,000 to withdraw the next day. Let's talk about what happens after you take your first payout, and I'll come back to questions. Feel free to throw them in. We'll talk about it. You put up your $3,000 in the eval, you get through it, you trade it aggressively, you trade it conservatively, you do whatever you want to do. You're into the funded account for $109, right? Day one of the funded account, you put up $3,000. Awesome. Maybe you send it and you put up $5,000. Awesome. There's no consistency. You take out that $1,000 day one, and then you go, okay, Zach, what happens? Do we have to do anything crazy before the next payout? What do we have to do here? You have to put up at least 50% of the payout that you go to request between payouts. That doesn't mean 50% of the total profit. You can send it on day one, but you have to put up at least, for example, in the 50K, $500 before you take out another $1,000. So let's run an example here where people get worried about, what you have to do to put that next payout up. I think this is super fair and I'm a big fan of it. Let's say you have a big day on day one. For some reason, you trade for a $10,000 day, right? Is that going to come back to bite you? Not really. You take out $1,000. Now you have $9,000 in the account, right? You have a huge max loss limit, okay? Awesome. What does this look like? What do you have to do before you're able to take that next payout? You have to put up a $500 day because the max you could take out is $1,000 per payout per day, even copy trading, right? You have to put up at least $500 to take out $1,000, eating into that buffer that you have. So you're essentially, what this prevents, and what most firms are preventing here, is you can't YOLO the account day one, put up $10,000, and then just request, right? Otherwise, there wouldn't be a payout cap in the first place, and you would be able to just take out, hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? Let's talk about some more nuances on these before we kind of compare them, and I answer some questions. You have a $95 reset fee, which resets less than the starting price of the account, which I like. So if you get into these accounts, you have a $109 start price, and then you have a $95 reset. If you want to continue on, they give you a little bit of a discount. You are able to reset the funded account at a very competitive price. Now, this is a big dollar amount. The reset on funded is always a hot topic. It's out for debate. I'm not a huge fan of it because I'm a little bit, more comfortable in an eval just going back and taking time and getting through it quickly. But if you wanted to reset the funded account, you could do that. You could start right from the, daily payout, no consistency rule, end of day trailing drawdown in the funded account. Really, really sweet, right? Let's go over some more nuances just to kind of dig into rule set. You have for example, on the 50K account, you have no daily loss limit in the eval. You could use the full 2,000. In the funded account, you have a $1,000 daily loss limit. Soft breach doesn't kill the account. It takes you out halfway to that drawdown. For the most part, I know a lot of traders, just want full flexibility, and I surely always would love full flexibility. But I think for most guys, that's going to help them out rather than hurt them. So in the funded account, you do have a $1,000 max loss limit. There's also another important note here. There's no news trading in the funded account. So this is new for top one. It's different from the eval. Pretty much open season. You can full port it on news if you want. In the eval, once you get into the funded account, out of news 2 minutes before, 2 minutes after. You can trade around all of that. You can't be opening and closing positions and trading through news 2 minutes before, 2 minutes after red folder news events. Again, I know some traders are straight up news traders. I understand the reason for doing that on a, no consistency end of day trailing drawdown account. But, you guys got to decide if that's okay for you, right? If that's good for you. Questions in the chat, throw them at me, man. I'm happy to talk about it. Just looking through my notes to make sure I go through everything else. You also have the same 10-second minimum hold time that's, on here for the exact same play. 10-second minimum hold time. You also have a scaling plan in the funded account, similar to what a lot of these firms do. You are not able to start with full micros from day one. So, questions, concerns, give them to me, man. Throw them in the chat. Let's put them up against the other accounts. Let's talk about it. I'm really happy to put these side by side. I just dropped a video breaking down all of the rules. I also have a video that I'm going to drop after this looking at everything side by side, okay? Now, think about where these line up, where these don't line up, and then I'll come back, I'll answer some questions here, man. Just got to check a quick message, make sure everything is straight, because I'm sure we got peeps ready to roll on these. Throw questions in the chat, man. We'll be going through them. I'm happy to talk about it, happy to put these up against the competition, where I think they shine, where they don't shine. I am stupidly psyched on these guys. I think this is, again, traders would just like free money, so it's never going to be everything that traders want. I think this is 90% of what traders want. I think most traders are looking for a really low barrier to entry, a cheap account, right? And maybe a cheap eval account. They're looking to be able to put a very little amount of risk on the line for a good upside opportunity. They hate consistency rules. They hate intraday trailing, drawdown. They love daily payouts, right? Yes, you got a $1,000 payout cap on the 50K. You can run it up, guys. You can run it up and take back-to-back payouts. It's a $5,000 payout cap per payout per day on a 5 copy traded accounts, right? So I think a lot of that is quelled with those things. Now, there's going to be accounts with no payout cap, right? Daily payouts. They are different. They're going to have different things like intraday trailing drawdown, maybe a longer and more difficult eval to get through, right? We'll talk about that. But I'm checking a couple messages. I just want to make sure everybody is up and running. Let me go ahead. Cool. Awesome. Hang tight, guys. Yeah, dude, I'm psyched on these. I'm super duper psyched on these. I just want to be able to throw this in. Yeah, guys, if you want to check it out, again, I'm going to throw a link in chat right now, and then I'll come through and answer some questions. And what I like to do is talk about how they stack up, right? Talk about how they, compare against other accounts out there, right? I saw somebody was asking about Lucid. We'll talk about it, right? I think that's important to do. And remember, guys, I always try to be super transparent about this and repeat it 1,000 times. I'm partnered. I'm affiliated. I stand to make money, right? I can't be unbiased if I stand to make money. I do. Important for me to be transparent about that, for you to do your own research, make your own decisions. For me, I promote companies that I believe in, that I want to work with, that I trade with myself, that I feel are great opportunities. I could promote anybody under the sun. I try to promote the best, right? Why would I not want to promote the best? Why would I not want to trade the best stuff? Why would I not want to make the most money as a partner and affiliate, right? Maybe you could use your brain and say, Zach just goes for where the money is. That's fine. Let's talk about it. We have, that looks great. Code gives you 60% off. Ooh, Purple Ninja dropping some heat in the chat. I don't know, guys. Click the link and head to it. Like I said, not only are you going to get the best discount with code RDF, everybody that buys an account today, Monday, March 2nd, is entered into win one of 5 of these accounts, right? I don't like to usually do purchase necessary for giveaways. I always love to do no purchase necessary, free 99. Maybe we do some other stuff. We ain't done yet. Don't go anywhere. But giveaway for today on these to, obviously give back a little bit more for you guys is anybody that's jumping into one of these today is going to be entered to win one of 5. Every purchase gives you 1 entry, right? On the new Elite Daily accounts from Top 1 Futures, man. Super stoked about these, man. I'm really excited about these, man. These are going to be sick. Super, super sick. Now, let's talk about it. Yo, it looks great. Code gives you 60% off. Damn, this is so good. Top 1, let's go. Yeah, I'm psyched. What's the target in the funded? We talked about that. Lucid is still better for evals. Jordan, whatever. Lucid, in my opinion, does not have a comparable account to this, right? There's no comparable account from Lucid. The comparable accounts I'm going to talk about right now Funded Next, Tradeify, Take Profit Trader, and My Funded Futures, because you guys know that I dig deep and I look at everything and I try to give feedback. But Lucid, from what I've seen, unless I'm missing something, has multiple eval accounts, but they have eval accounts that put you into a funded account with either a consistency rule by percent or a minimum daily profit per day before you can take a payout. Not that they're not great accounts. I think they're awesome. I traded with them last month, February. I took a payout with them. Really, really great, process, but just different. So to say one or the other is better by way of not comparing them like side by side, I don't know if we could do that. Now, there's certainly always going to be something better for one trader than another, for sure. Not one going to be best at all. I'm always happy to say that. But I would say if you're going to compare something, try to put them side by side, right? I know they just dropped something that is something called Payout Max, which is before their live account or something like that, or maybe it is their live account. Not a funded account, right, that everybody could just make it into. Kind of like Top 1 Futures live account, right? You have to be called up to the live account with daily payouts and no consistency. So, there's the link. I see someone asked that. Do we need to purchase the new account to enter the giveaway, or can I jump into an Instant Sim Funded? Instant Sim Funded, yeah. What am I going to do? Are you going to be entered to win? Yeah, man, I could probably do it. It's probably going to be anybody who purchases any account for Monday. We could do that. That's going to be fine. Anybody who purchased any account using code RDF, I'll just look at all of the purchases for Monday. I'll ask them for that info. Will be entered to win 105. I think you guys dethroned Lucid. Lucid is getting sketchy. Again, just different, right? I don't think... And again, a lot of the way the traders talk about this stuff online is, this is the best, or this one's the best, or this is king, this is number one. They're all slightly different. So depending on the trader themselves, what's going to be better, or number one for them, is going to be different. And we'll talk about that. I'm going to compare these against and I have a video on it, but I'm going to do this here while we're hanging out, answering questions. I'm going to compare these against the closest accounts, right? And I'm going to compare them against one different subset of daily payout accounts, which I think is really important to talk about. You could trade 35 of them. No, Nate, you could not trade 35 of them. You could trade 5 of them. You could copy trade 5 of the elite daily accounts. You can copy trade other accounts from Top 1 in batches if you wanted to. You could continue trading your, straight to Sim Funded Pro, your Ignite, your Instant Sim Funded. You can't copy trade them all together. You can't copy trade 5 of each account size, kind of similar to other prop firms like what you see, right? But you can only have 5 evaluation style funded accounts, right? My image shows 35? Does it? Am I missing something? Oh no, that's a 3 crossed out, Nate. Sorry. That's a 3 crossed out here. I could see how that would be a little bit confusing. That's a 3 that's crossed out that has a 5. 5 accounts. Yeah, sorry. Maybe it's not super duper clear. Yeah. Each account type fits personality. No, all good. All good. Yeah, what's the payout rule on this? Yeah, so we talked about this. We talked about this a little bit, but let's go through it again real quick. ADO King, how quick does Top will process these payouts? Can I trade the next day with the updated balance? ADO King, it's a good question. I believe so. They've been processing payouts extremely quickly, in my humble, biased opinion, but I think we're going to have to see, right? I'm a big believer in, let's watch how this plays out in real time. They are calling these daily payouts because you should be able to request every single day. You should be able to request and then have your account unlocked to trade, make more money, and then request another payout at very least every 24 hours. In the live account, it's been locked out for 24 hours where you're able to request every 24 hours. I know you're not going to be able to, for example, trade as soon as you're in the funded account, request a payout, have that taken out, trade again, request another payout, have that taken out, essentially multiple payouts in the same day. So I believe it's going to be once every 24 hours. It's essentially going to be the deal. But hella fast. I've been getting paid out same day, every day, as I've been requesting payouts with Top 1. So we'll see. We'll see how fast it is, though. I'm a big believer in, you guys tell me as you make it to a daily payout with them. Do we need to go above a certain buffer to request payout? Yeah, so let's talk about this again real quick. We'll run through it. Brand new accounts from Top 1 Futures. Super badass. Daily payout, no consistency, no minimum trading days to funded, no minimum trading days in the funded account, end of day trailing drawdown, and eval, and in funded. Those are the highlights for this one, right? This is a 3-day to pass eval, 45% consistency, right? You can almost do it in 2 days, but they're making you trade for a third day. I get that. $3,000 profit target, $2,000 max loss limit, looking at the 50K. No daily loss limit, end of day trailing drawdown, right? Sweet. In the funded account from day one, you have, here's what changes, just a little bit that changes. $1,000 daily loss limit, no news trading, right? No consistency, no minimum trading days to pay out, none of that fun stuff. You have a $2,000 buffer that you have to get up above, right? So $2,000 max loss limit, you have to lock that by getting up above the $2,000 buffer. And then you're able to start requesting payouts from everything above $2,000 in profit that you put up in the funded account. So to take a max payout on day one, you would put up $3,000 and request $1,000 right off the rip. For subsequent payouts, 50% of the profit that you're requesting has to come from new profit. Not to say that you have to put up 50% of all of the profit that you put up in the account, which could be a little bit confusing. So again, no consistency. Are you going to hurt yourself by running it up on day one? No. You're going to build a really big buffer, and then you're going to be able to continue to request, but you can't just continue to request back to back to back without trading, right? You're going to have to put up at least $500, for the next payout to take $1,000, for example, in the 50K account, 50%, and the $1,000 max payout per account. You can copy trade up to 5 of these. You can take a $5,000 payout in these from day one of funded, which is absolutely wild. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about how these stack up, because I see some of you guys throwing it in there, man. Daily payouts is sick, $109, 50K is a great deal. Yeah, these are insane, guys. These are absolutely insane. The prop space is getting incredibly competitive. I am super psyched. I'm going to be yapping about these a lot. I have a bunch of videos coming out about these. They are absolutely insane. I think these are an awesome account from anybody from beginners to super advanced. I really think this goes up against the competition, has an edge in a lot of places, and makes it one of the best daily payout, no consistency eval accounts, right? Always going to be different. These are different than the instant sim funded. These are different than the super difficult to pass, super hard rules and funded, no payout cap, right? They're always going to be differences. So let's talk about that. I think you got a couple account types right now with prop firms in the future space. I'm going to group them into 3 categories. One is instant funded. It's beautiful, right? I love instant funded. You pass, you don't have to take an eval. It's great. You don't stand to make money in an eval that you never withdraw. You're going to pay a higher price tag for that, a significantly higher price tag, right? For example, with top 1, the instant sim funded is 407 for the 50K versus 109 for the eval account, right? And then drawback number 2 is you're going to have a tight consistency rule. You're going to have a 20% consistency rule, for example, with top 1, okay? Upsides, no evaluation, right? Downsides, consistency rule, higher price tag, multiple trading days before payout, that type of a deal. Sometimes a little bit bigger payout cap. Now, option 2 that we have for evals, right? Really, really aggressive like this one. Daily payout, no consistency, fast pass eval, inexpensive, right? Here's the other type of daily consistency, right? The other type of daily consistency, daily no consistency eval. The take profit trader and the my funded futures, right? How do these differ? Take profit trader, for example, has an awesome program. They've been around for a long period of time. I traded with them last month. I took a payout from them. Awesome. Those differ, right? And here's how. Not only do you have a 5-day to pass eval, it takes you a full week to pass the eval with minimum trading days, right? You have an intraday trailing drawdown in the funded account. The trade-off for that is there's no $1,000 payout cap. I think it's up to like $8,000 from day one in a 50K, for example. I think they allow you to make $10,000, and then there's an 80-20 profit split, which is also worse than the 90-10 that you would get with top 1. Is one better or worse? It depends. Depends on you as a trader. Are you somebody who's looking for a more difficult, harder to get to, a larger payout account, and you want to work with one or multiple of those accounts? Are you somebody that wants to pay the same price, work yourself towards an objectively easier to get to payout, easier rule set, maybe copy trade if you want to scale, right? Not one better than the other. Intraday trailing drawdown on that and my fund of futures is very similar. You have an intraday trailing drawdown account as well when you get to the funded before you get past the buffer. It is difficult. It's very difficult to work with. For me, it's difficult to work with, right? So those are definitely different. And then I guess maybe fourth category would be inexpensive eval, very fast pass. Maybe it's 1 day or 2 days, but then you get a consistency rule in funded, right? You get a 40% consistency rule where it's minimum 3 trading days to pay out. You know, pretty reasonable profit targets, really nice payout that you work to, but you're working with a consistency rule. You're going to have to do the math. You're going to have to limit yourself. You can't be a high risk to reward trader. You can't run it up on, you know, on 1 day with a lot of volatility, right? So is one of those, you know, types of accounts better than the other? No, man, they're all awesome. You know, you guys decide for yourself. Do your research and pick. Do I think that, you know, the industry continues to get more aggressive in certain areas because it's what traders want? They're easier to work towards payouts. They're inexpensive. They fit this wide variety. Yes, I think that's why we're here with this brand new account, you know, that we're talking about that I'm super stoked on. And if I had to pick any account right now to trade, this is it. This is it right here. I really do think that this is one of the best accounts for the entire prop firm space right now that is rolling out today. And certainly for a daily payout, no consistency in funded account. You know, again, is it the best? No. I think they're all different, guys. I think they're all going to be different. And you're going to have to decide what's best for you, right? You know, you can go all the way to the extreme, which would be more of an apex model, right? Where it's intraday trailing drawdown, huge payout caps, but extremely difficult rules. I did see a lot of changes out of them. I saw changes out of Lucid. I've seen a ton of changes out of everybody. The space continues to change super quickly. I'll try to keep you guys updated as best I possibly can with all the videos that I put out and all the content that I put out. But this is super awesome from Top One today. I'm super excited about it. I've talked to them a lot behind the scenes. I've given a lot of feedback. I know you guys have given a lot of feedback to them. And this is the account that they're answering with, which I'm stoked on, man. I think this is, I think a ton of traders are going to get paid out from these. A ton. I really do. So, questions, feel free, let me know in chat. We're going to hang out. I know the market popped to the upside. Look at that, would have been the stop out. Again, no trade for me yet at all. Like I said, I'm going to hide this one. I'm happy that I didn't take this. All the way up to this area. Yesterday's volume point of control. This looked like a good short. No trade for me so far, guys. No trade for me so far. Because I'm yapping about these accounts that I'm super stoked on. Again, if you want to check these out, the brand new daily payout accounts, feel free. Link is in the chat. If you guys have questions, feel free to throw them in. I'm going to hang out with you guys for today. I'm going to yap about them. We'll discuss differences. We'll answer questions. We'll go from there. If you want to check out videos I got dropping right now on YouTube, they are live as well. I'm going to have a ton of comparison videos coming out. You know, a bunch of fun stuff, man. Let's see. Chat. What's going on, guys? How we doing today? Getting one of these to test out Tradeovate. Sounds like a better version of Take Profit. Let's go. Possible to have 5 accounts on each plan. Yeah. Yep. Daily payouts is sick. 109. Yeah, we talked about that. Awesome. Yeah. I'm hyped that you guys are hyped up on it, man. Again, code RDF not only is going to get you the best discount today, it's also going to get you an entry to win one of 5 of these accounts. Using code RDF, buying with my stuff, I'm going to get you an entry to win one of 5 of these bad boys today. So, don't sleep if you want to check them out. Now, back to trading for a bit here. If you guys got questions, please feel free to throw them in the chat. Link is in the chat if you want to check it out. I'm more than happy to answer questions as well in the Discord. I'll be talking about them a lot. I'll be making more videos on them. Hopefully be trading them. I've been talking to Top One about how to maybe line that up since I am, you know, still just, you know, running it up in the live account. Been talking about how to get into some of those to trade with you guys to try to, you know, demonstrate what that stuff looks like. So I might have something like that coming up. But we'll talk about that. Pop to the upside across all of these, man. Really just going up to fill the gap and then catching a little bit of sellers here. Looks like NQ, ES, and YM all really pulled the same move. Drive higher off of the open. Just out of curiosity, what gold did. Not too much. Everybody with the full port gold longs at open. Yeah, I guess. Not really doing too much there. I'm kind of interested in this. Area, guys. I'm gonna sit patient. Nothing crazy yet. Nothing crazy yet. No trade just yet. Popped all the way up. Past Friday's low. Past overnight session highs and lows. All the way up to yesterday's volume point of control. And fill in this gap. Now we're finding some sellers up here. I'm curious on a fade here, guys. Hang on. Just checking some messages here. Yeah, I don't know that I want to fade this. I don't know that I want to fade this. I'm gonna watch what happens up here, guys. I'm kind of interested in a little short ski. I think we could see a flush back down, fill some of this movement to the upside here. Just to take a quick look at this bad boy. Yeah, I think we could see a little bit of a flushacito back down. Came back up, filled this gap, all the way back up to yesterday's volume point of control. That would have been a beautiful spot for an entry way up here if you were super aggressive, right off that point of control. I'm gonna wait to see what happens up here, see if I want to try to run with this back down. Still cautious, I think long off the open. Obviously, if you had a crystal ball, that would have been a nice play, but I don't have a crystal ball, so I'm chilling with you guys. We're gonna see what we get up here. Well, we talk prop firm accounts. When we talk the new stuff, man, the best. No, I don't like to do that, man. But these are sick. These are absolutely insane. I think we're going to have a ton of traders getting payouts from these. Daily payouts, no consistency, end of day trailing drawdown. I think these are going to be sick, man. I'm excited. I'm super stoked on these. Again, if you guys want to check them out, link is in the chat. Let me go ahead and make sure I'm throwing it in there again. Code RDF not only gets you the best deal, but also gets you an entry to win one of 5 of these accounts. Every purchase today with code RDF is going to get you an entry to win one of 5 of these. Let's see what you guys had going on Kick, because I wasn't yapping to you guys on Kick. What's up? Hang on one second, guys. Damn it. I messed up the link. Kick. Hang on, guys. Hang on, Kick. I'm just happy we're not having any tech issues today like last week. Three days to pass eval, then build a 2K buffer. Anything after that, I can withdraw up to $1,000 daily. If I make $3,000 in a single day after the 1K payout, I'd have to make 50% of the other $2,000 before the next payout. No. You would have to make 50% of whatever you're about to request in the next payout. So you built up, so you passed the 3-day, right? You build up a $2,000 buffer, and after that, you can withdraw anything up to $1,000 daily. Correct. So let's say day 1 in the funded, you put up $3,000, right, on the 50K. You take out $1,000. Now you're back to the same starting point, $2,000 buffer. If you put up another $500, right? Well, technically, if you only put up $3,000, you wouldn't have any more money if you withdrew $1,000. You would have to put up another $1,000 to take another $1,000 payout. You don't have to put up 50% of the $3,000 you put up, which would be $1,500. Or again, for example, let's make this a little bit easier. You run it up on day 1. You put $5,000. You have a banger trade, right? You were long off the open today. You take a $1,000 payout. Now you have $4,000 in the account, right? What do you have to do on day 2 to take a payout? Put up at least $500. Why? 50% of the $1,000 max payout that you're looking to take from the account, right? Not another $2,000, which would be 50% of total new profit, from the total amount of profit that you have in the account. That's the deal. Let me know if that makes sense. Yeah, not bad at all. Again, it's not a consistency rule, right? Because the other one would be a really gnarly consistency rule, but essentially they're preventing just insane full port YOLO trading, right? And there wouldn't be a payout cap, right? If you were able to do that, right? Why would they limit you in the first place? It wouldn't make you wait to just withdraw without trading. You would just withdraw the whole thing, right? It would just be a little bit different of an account. So that's what they have going on. Essentially, they're saying you got to put up new profit. You got to keep trading. You don't have to, we're not going to punish you for building a big buffer. Maybe even if you do it slowly, for example. But you can't just YOLO it on day one, put $10,000 in the account, and then withdraw $10,000, right? Not super sustainable. If they were going to do that, they'd probably have a harder eval, probably be more money, probably be an intraday trailing drawdown that you have to get past before you're able to do that. Because it's not as easy to YOLO those accounts with intraday trailing drawdown, right? And, maybe no daily loss limit. So, that's kind of what they got going on here. For sure. No problem, Kobe, man. Appreciate you asking. Good question. Definitely good question. I can take a 1K payout from day one. Damn, these are sick. Yeah. Is there a set number of payouts before they move you live? Yes. I believe they have 3 or 4 payouts from the same account or same batches of account before they're looking at putting you into a prop live account. So technically, I believe it would be the similar structure that what I've been in with this account right here, a top 1 futures live account, which again has daily payouts, no consistency rules, no minimum trading days to pay out, but no copy trading, an 80-20 profit split, and not the ability to just YOLO the account and start from day one. But they've got 3 payouts. Let me look the rule. Hang on. I believe they have 3 payouts and you're being considered. Again, discretionary, like similar to other firms, where they're going to look at your trading and decide, if you're a good fit for the live account in the first place, if they're going to leave you, if you're doing something crazy, that whole deal. Let me take a look and see what they say on the maximum account rules. Yeah, we have daily overview. Yeah, guys, they have a frequently asked questions page, which is pretty dang sweet, where it goes over really everything. I'm just trying to find if they have something that speaks super directly on live, but I believe it's 3 to 4 payouts from the same account. Before they're looking at you for a live account, right? But yeah, it looks like I got everything right. Remember, no news rule. That's definitely a different one in the funded account for them. No news. They have that written down. They have that written as 2-minute restricted window. 2 minutes before and after major news events. Red folder news events, right? You're not able to do anything, right? 4-minute window total. Essentially, they're saying opening a market order, closing a market order, opening a pendant order, modifying a stop loss, modifying a take profit, placing stop or limit orders, right? So technically, you could hold through news, but if you were taking a trade through news, you're probably going to have something get hit. So you probably just don't want to do that. Contract scaling plan we talked about. Daily payout rules. Yep. Looked at it. 90-10 profit split. Minimum withdrawal is $500. Minimum withdrawal is $500. Max payout per account, $750 on the 25K, $1,000 on the 50K, $1,500 on the 100K. Again, you can copy trade up to 5 of each of those accounts. Buffer, yep, $1,500 on the 25K, $2,000 on the 50K, $3,000 on the 100K. Profits above the buffer are eligible for withdrawal. Yeah, and then they even break down the payout on the 50%, daily progression rule is what they call that. Let's see, I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything else that I really want to mention to you guys. Again, straight from the site, they're going to have all of it. Max loss rule, news rule, yeah. Awesome. Yeah, profits have to be closed, obviously. Yeah, awesome. No, it looks super clean, man. I'm super excited about it. Stupid excited about it, man. I think this is gonna be awesome. I think it's gonna be sweet, chat. Think it's gonna be super duper sweet. You guys got questions? Feel free to ask. Ooh, as I'm yapping away, that's okay, guys. Honestly, news today. I'm looking at this like I want to be able to provide a lot of info on these new top 1 accounts. I really wanted to hop on. I'm not live for the rest of the week. I definitely want to be able to answer questions, bring these to you live, give you guys the best discount, give you guys the giveaway. If you're purchasing one today, anybody who purchases a top 1 account with code RDF going to get entered to win one of 5 of these new Elite Daily challenge accounts. But yeah, that's a beautiful rejection off of prior day's volume point of control. This high volume node up here. Definitely happy that I did not get short down here. There's a reason that I didn't want to get short. I'd be lying if I said I didn't feel like I may have missed something up here. Just yapping about this as these accounts launched. Be lying if I said I wasn't feeling like I might have wanted something like this for a move back down towards VWAP, a move back down towards these highs. But you know, we're trying to bring you guys the best info that we possibly can here. I've been cleaning up in this live account. I'm happy to not do anything crazy coming right into, you know, war on Monday morning. But that looked pretty clean, man. That definitely looked pretty clean up here. I was looking at lower time frames just to see what this looked like. And this did look this definitely did look pretty clean. Was some nice aggression, hanging out, and then a beautiful dump down. Let's see what the rest of these boys are doing. Not nearly as much weakness out of NQ. Just to take a look on the 1 minute, because I've been watching the 1 minute on NQ a little bit more. Yeah, these could come lower. Just taking a look around the horn. ES. Yeah, ES put up a pretty gnarly rejection there. Look at that, man. Beautiful. Filling the gap and then rejecting really, really harshly. Maybe, you know, and listen, now there's a case to be made to say, hey, dude, we're going to sell off now. Like, there's a case to be made that, hey, we trapped everybody overnight, right? Just to kind of frame this out for you guys, the way that I read. News, right? War, conflict, bearish. We open up to the downside, gap down, we trend lower. Off the open for NYSE, we take everybody's stops by running up, filling the gap, grabbing liquidity, and then we move in the direction that we really want to move in, which could be to the downside. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen today, right? It's actually not what I'm trading for right here, right now. This would have been a beautiful spot to try for that. I certainly think we could just do the classic, nope, everybody's wrong, war's good, we're going up. But, you know, there's definitely a case to be made where I think some people would be saying, dude, heavy shorts, you know, big move to the downside could be on the table today. But, you know, something to note. Really clean gap fill on these, though. I got to say that. Really clean physical opening gap fill from Friday to Monday. Beautiful push to the upside to go and clean this up. NQ. Yeah, NQ as well. Where's the wick on this thing? Yeah. Damn. Very nice. Doesn't always play like that, but that's a clean one. Watching this up here, I'm still inclined to watch YM, man. I don't think we're done moving for today. I'm not going anywhere. So bear with me, guys. I'm going to throw this back up on the screen. Take a quick break for just a second. Step right out, and I will be back. I see we've got a ton of questions in the chat. I will be back to answer. Be right back, guys. Chat. How we doing, guys? How we doing? Let me know what y'all think. Let me know what you guys think of the new accounts. Let me know what you guys think of the markets. We got a bunch of people on stream, man. I appreciate you guys hopping on, man. I'm excited. You know, again, I really I've been with Top One from the beginning. Just to speak on this real quick before I answer some more questions in the chat. See what you guys are talking about. They were super aggressive, and they still are with the instant funded accounts, right? That's been their bread and butter from the beginning. They really have not focused on evaluation style accounts at all. I'm a big fan of instant funded. I really don't like taking evals. I don't enjoy it, right? I don't mind putting up more money. But there's certainly some really nice things that prop firms can do with evaluation accounts that they just can't do with instant funded accounts, right? The prices are higher. These are not going to be for everybody. We got a lot of new traders that are starting out. And, you know, it's hard to say, yeah, put up $400 for an instant funded account when you're probably going to lose it, right? Being able to put up $89 in an eval account, not as bad, not nearly as bad. Along with that, no consistency, daily payouts, right? All in with no activation fee, no minimum trading days once you're into the funded account. Those are things that you just can't do with an instant sim funded account, right? Otherwise, it would just be free money. You can't have no consistency rule. You know, and daily payouts, it would just be, okay, well, here's $400 and then YOLO it, and, you know, now there we go. So I've been with these guys for a while. I've tried to give a lot of feedback, and I know a lot of you guys love these style of accounts. I see a lot of people trading with Lucid, with, you know, Take Profit, with Tradeify. I think these offer one of the most competitive, they smoke a lot of accounts out there, but one of the most competitive accounts from an evaluation standpoint. I would take a look at these. I would put these up against the competition. I think they are incredibly priced. I think they are very easy to work towards a payout. And I think they have a lot of advantages for a lot of different traders. A ton of them, man. Again, I say that biased as a partner and affiliate that stands to make money, right? I can't be unbiased if I stand to make money. You have to do your research. Go to all the prop firm sites, right? Read the rules, read the frequently asked questions up here, go to all of the different ones and put them up against each other, right? I do that in videos as well, but I can't be unbiased even there. If you guys want to check it out, I'm gonna have another video dropping today, which is a comparison video across all of the daily payout accounts, like everybody that has a daily payout account. Really, really cool. Put them all side by side with all of the rules that I could find. I took a lot of time making that one, so. But yeah, it's psyched, dude. I'm psyched on these. I really am. I talked to him a little bit about the live account, kind of, you know, making some plans there. I've just held on to it for a long period of time. I'd love to be able to demonstrate what I could do in these accounts as well. You know, we'll see if we'll see what we get there. I'm not. I wasn't expecting to be in the live account for as long as I am. Completely honestly, I've done pretty well in it, but you know, we'll keep that show rolling. But yeah, I think this is an awesome option. Really awesome option. So let's answer some questions because you guys are here, man, talking about it. Again, link is in the chat if you guys want to check it out. Code RDF. I will throw up the no consistency banner. I think that's so sick, dude. I love the no consistency. Let's talk about it. I can take 1K payout for day one. These are sick. Yes. Is there a set number of these payouts? Yeah, we talked about that. If I put up 2K on day, we talked about that. Yes. Yes. Top one restricting gold. Yes. Yes. Can you do a mental stop loss, or do you have to place it before? Nope, you don't have to use a stop loss with top one if you don't want to. I think you should. I think it demonstrates crazy trading by not using a stop loss, but you don't have to use one. I just got one. Yes, sir. Nice. Nice, Nate. Yeah, Nate, take it easy, brother. Take it easy, though. Are we still going to have free instant funding giveaway? I don't know. Maybe. Maybe Gua or Ga. Maybe. I'm out. 350 for the day. Small base hits to pass these 3 combines that I had to target push. Beautiful. One thing is missing. The option to add Eurex. Crazy accounts right there. Yes, Sir Lunchalot. I know you want Eurex data feed. I don't think... so I asked about that. Are other traders... Because I asked you in Discord. Are other firms offering... Are other firms offering the instruments that you want to trade? Like, are other futures prop firms offering whatever instrument that you want to trade? I'm curious. Just got a 50K. Let's go. Elite Daily. Yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah, man. I'm psyched on these. I think they're going to be absolutely insane. I really think they're going to be absolutely insane. I would be really shocked if you didn't see a lot of traders trading these, right? Traders know where the good value is, right? They do their research. most people are not super loyal to a prop firm. They go and trade whatever they can trade that's going to be good for them. And I think that's a good thing to do, right? I encourage you to do your research and trade with whoever you think is a good fit. I think we're going to see a ton of guys looking to make a run on these for good reason. You get through a 3-day eval, you put up $3,000, you're taking out $1,000, and you can do that repeatedly across 5 accounts in a 50K. Across 5 accounts in 100K, you're taking out $1,500 times 5 for back-to-back days. I think that's a pretty awesome potential, especially at $100 per account, $95 reset. I think it's solid, man. I think it's really solid. Again, different stuff. There's different stuff out there. We talked a little bit about the differences. If you guys have questions up against other accounts, I'm happy to talk about it. I try to do a lot of research, right? But you guys, I would encourage you to do that yourself for sure. Watching this market pop to the upside and then drop and try to figure out what the hell it wants to do. Sorry, guys, getting a couple messages here. What the hell? I had a weird video unavailable thing happen. Hang on one second. What happened to my video? Sorry, guys. I got a new vid up, which is breaking down these accounts. So try to do this again. There we go. Throw in some stuff in the main discords here. Chat! What do we think on the day, man? You guys think we're coming back down on this? I'm curious. Y'all think we're coming back down on this? Kind of feel like we are. Kind of feels like we're dipping our toe in the water to do a little dip ski here. I almost would have liked yesterday's volume point of control for the W on this. Sorry, guys, just to read a couple messages. We got so much craziness going on here. Sending some messages. Trying to make sure everyone, let's see. All right. I ain't even trading. Just want to start. Okay, cool. Trader base crazy looking at the top stuff. Yeah. This is like normal. Top stuff, for example, eval with better end game. Yeah, different. Yeah, these are eval style accounts. Eval style accounts. Yes, Mike. What's up, guys? Nah, I got no trade, I think. Hey, bro, my chance to get funded with a 50K instant. Maybe. I don't know. Guys. I'm not going anywhere just yet. I'm watching these markets. I'm hanging out with you guys. We got some craziness going on in the prop space. We got some craziness going on in the trading space. Watch this market pop to the upside here. I don't think I'm going to run NQ scalping today. watch this market pop to the upside here, off the open, find resistance right here, and then trade all the way back down. That would have been a really, really nice movement to try to capitalize on. We didn't really continue all the way back down to VWAP, so I'm kind of just curious what we do in this range right here, around this high volume node, this price action from yesterday. Do we come up and check this area out, right? This is a high volume node, you know, much more zoomed out, kind of the low end of this really, really big range that we were putting in. Do we come all the way up here? I don't know. I really don't know. Or do we completely reverse and we have a huge down day, but we needed to run stops, right? We sold off at the overnight and we're pulling one of these, you know, push up 800 points, take everyone and their mother out, trap longs, and then dump. I'm trying not to be too crazy on a Monday as news is breaking, as war is breaking. You know, I had a potential trade in here that, you know, that I did not take for good reason. I said, you know, at very best, it would have been right in here. I didn't like where the stop loss was going to go, right? I mapped this out with you guys. Didn't like where the stop loss was going to go, right up to this high volume area. Didn't like the potential to fill this gap. News at 10. So this is a stop avoided. I could at least say that for myself today. I don't know. I don't know if we get continuation of the downside here. I'm kind of just staying patient. I think we could start moving at any point here. I'm interested in watching this. I'm not done yet. So I'm going to hang out live with you guys for a while longer. I'm not really running anywhere right now. Again, guys, this is my last live for today. Last live for this week. I am only live with you guys today. I will be traveling. I got podcasts. I'm meeting up with a bunch of traders. If you guys don't follow me on IG, definitely follow me on IG. Here's the link to my Discord. I'll keep you guys updated. I got podcasts going on, interviews and roundtables, whatever the hell you want to call them, in Miami with a bunch of guys, bunch of different traders, guys from Top 1, and then a bunch of different traders tomorrow. And then I'm traveling to Colombia on Wednesday with the whole Top 1 team. It's going to be sick. I'm super excited. They got a big trader and partner trip going on down there. It's going to be really, really cool. I'll be doing a ton of like vlog style stuff. After I get back, I'm going to try to have a bunch of that stuff edited up. But in the meantime, if you want to follow along and see what I got going on, like I was with Tanner last night. Tanner, the strong trader, grabbing some dinner. Was pretty cool. IG is the best spot for that, man. I post a lot to the story. It's fun. If you guys want to find out what's going on. If not, totally respect that, man. Not everybody gives a crap about, you know, regular life stuff. But I think it's important. I think it's important that you guys see what's going on in my normal life, that I'm a normal human, and, you know, decide if you agree with the way that I conduct myself, my dumbass values. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, coming up on 11 o'clock here, man. I don't know. Nothing so far, guys. I'm no trade so far in the session. Again, some traders are going to come in hot and heavy today. I'm coming in patient for sure. But if you were on late, we have the brand new accounts from Top 1 Futures. Daily payouts. No consistency rule in funded. No minimum trading days to pay out. End of day trailing drawdown in the evaluation and in the funded account. No activation fee. 109 for the 50K. Stupid account from Top 1, man. I know I always have these dumb ways that I speak, but I think this is a stupidly good account from Top 1. If I was doing my comparison, my humble biased opinion, I think it would be very hard to find an account personally for me that I liked more than this one. Again, is it the best? That depends, right? There is no one single best in my humble biased opinion. A lot of partners and affiliates love to say that. This is the best, nobody stand. Well, the best for who? The best for an experienced trader with $1 million of capital? The best for a trader who's on, you know, month number 8 with $1,000 to his name, right? A trader who loves intraday trailing drawdown and, you know, huge upside potential. A trader that loves consistency rules with no evals. There's so many different things out there. There's, you know, not one best. So I would also just be cautious of anyone yelling, this is the best, this is the biggest thing. You know, changing the game is cool to say, but this is number 1. This puts them at the top. The top of what, bro? Like, you could trade whatever you want, and that's the best for you. You know, I have no idea who you are, how you trade. Like, so anybody that says that, I think, like, I look at them and I'm like, all right, bro. Wait, whatever. Let's see. Chat. No ways to giveaways. I don't know. Are you going to do a duck race for those accounts? I don't know. Bro, I need some videos on TradeAvate. Read my top step. Yeah. You could log in and trade from TradingView. Nate. Most of these firms are competing with something new these days. Competition is good for traders at least. Yeah. Yep. Let's go. Top one is best at moment. Yeah, we just talked about that. You know, depends. Bar the metals restriction. Yeah, it depends. Like Fast Money, I could tell, you know, by the comments, you're not happy about that for sure. I think metals traders or crude oil traders are not going to be happy at all today, right? I would say that firms and brokers are going to do what they can to manage risk. And that includes at prop firms, for some of them, limiting or eliminating, restricting certain contracts to be traded during, you know, insane periods of volatility, right? I'd love to see that not happen. You know, it happens. I'd also love to see brokers not increase margin requirements, right? So a lot of traders I see, like when that stuff started to happen, they went, "This is why you need live accounts. This is why you need live accounts, bro." But they're failing to realize that brokers increased margin requirements, and they regularly increase margin requirements around news and around high volume periods, essentially eliminating the ability for you to trade that contract. Like, I don't know if you guys, you know, trade with any live brokerages for futures, right? I have taken a look at several over the course of the run on silver and gold. To open one mini contract at the brokers that I have live accounts with on silver was wild, was absolutely wild. As news broke over the weekend, I got multiple emails from the brokers that I trade with that they were increasing margin requirements, right? So, you know, I would say, like, that doesn't make it better or worse, but this is consistent with the market, right? As volatility goes crazy, they will essentially limit your ability to trade, either by requiring you to have a much larger balance, or in prop firm cases, you know, limiting, you know, just the amount of contracts you could trade, or pausing it altogether, right? You know, again, with prop firms and with the markets in general, it's important to remember, guys, we're playing, I say this a lot, I repeat this a lot, but I want you to think about it. We're playing with their ball on their court. And at any point, they could take the ball and say, "You're done, we're going home," okay? They could also raise the hoop up at any point, okay? So this happens regularly with prop firms, not nearly as much in live market conditions at all, but certainly when it comes to understanding volatility and the rapid change and the change around news, margin requirements, right, is really important to look at. So, you know, I saw a lot of traders say that, you know, and I was like, well, yeah, sure, open your live account and go trade gold or silver, whatever you want, because you can continue trading them. There was a pause altogether for a minute there, just recently, across the board from like the CME, but I think that was for a different reason. But also, like, look at how much capital now you have to trade, right? And then understand why they do that, and then understand why prop firms are doing, you know, something similar. So again, I'm always in favor of the widest stuff, right? I'm always in favor of no restrictions, you know, no daily loss limits, you know, huge contract sizing. I understand, you know, I understand where this stuff comes from. I also don't care nearly as much as others because I don't trade metals right now at all. So, you know, it's part of it. But yeah. Again, different things for different folks, different strokes for different folks, right? You might be someone that trades metals. You're going to only look for, you know, firms that are going to offer metals. You might be someone that is a news trader, right? You won't do well in accounts where you can't trade news with prop firms. You might be somebody who is a tick scalper, right? You're not going to do well with anybody that has a, you know, micro scalping rule, right? You know, a minimum hold time rule. So again, I try, even though I am partnered and affiliated, I make money from firms, right? On the back end, all of this stuff. I try to speak like a normal human without like being just a complete idiot about it. There is not one best firm for everybody. It's going to be different. They're all going to have these subtle nuances that for some traders are going to completely eliminate, you know, the opportunity to trade with them based on how they trade. Everybody's style is different. The instruments you trade are different. You know, all these things are different. So I hope that provides a little bit of like, you know, insight into this stuff, guys. Do your research, right? Make your own decisions. I will continue to talk about what I think are some of the best opportunities across the board for all traders, right? Given what I know about traders, and for myself. That's all I can do. Pop into the upside here. Yeah, I know I'm showing these a lot because I'm super stoked on it, but there's a daily payout win. Yeah, guys, just to reiterate this, because I see we got a ton of more people hopping on. We got like 70 people on. We got on YouTube. We got a ton of people on X, a ton of people on Kick. Thanks for hopping on, guys. If you hopped on late, new accounts just dropped from Top 1 Futures. They have code R. Well, let me just go right to the point. Code RDF gets you the best deal, and I'm giving away 5 for anybody that purchases. Excuse me. Let me back that up. We have 5 up for grabs on a giveaway. Anybody that uses code RDF to purchase an account today gets an entry to win one of 5 of these accounts. I'll pick the winners later this week. I'll be traveling. I'll be with a lot of the guys from Top 1. I got to get the info back from them. But for today, all of Monday, March 2nd, if you purchase an account using code RDF, you get an entry to win one of 5 of these accounts. It's going to be the 50K account size. Every purchase gets you an entry to win. Will we do other giveaways today and this week? Maybe. Maybe if you just chill out and hang on stream. I don't know. I can't guarantee anything, guys, all right? There's a lot of people behind me pulling the strings. Look at everybody else behind me. This is my boss over here. It's crazy, guys. You think I'm in a room by myself just trading and yapping and doing whatever I want? It's nuts. Top of futures instant. The every first level you still trade FX. No, I really don't trade FX anymore at all. I really haven't traded FX at all. Porsche looks good, brother. Keep winning. Yeah, I appreciate you, man. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The Porsche is awesome. I do enjoy that car. Yep, great. Awesome, dude. Yeah. Hell yeah. Appreciate you guys hopping on. Appreciate everybody hanging. Waiting to see if we pop back up for a dump or if this is gonna be it, man. Just checking a couple messages here. Let's see. Pushing back to the upside, man. Pushing back to the upside. Again, I'm still no trade for the day, guys. Was watching a couple levels on the chart. We're at an interesting spot after filling this. We're at a really interesting spot after filling this. I'm just looking at ES and NQ here. Watching Bookmap over on the left-hand side as well. I'm trying to see if I want to structure a trade on YM. I'm trying to see if I want to run something. I'm honestly tempted on the shorts. I really am. I do think these bad boys could pop a little bit more. I do think there's potential for these to pop, but I'm tempted on the shorts here, guys. I don't love the push to the upside, retest, and then come back up through the highs for the shorts. But I think we got 2 options here, right? We got 2 options here. This is a higher time frame, you know, bottom end of the of a high volume node here. But I think we got 2 options here for the 15-minute, you know, for the rest of this day. I think we got option 1. We kind of just chop. We settle around these highs. We drift around. We don't really do too much, right? Option 2 on YM, we get through this quickly. We come all the way up here, right? We pop to the upside. We come back above this zone, and we come kind of into the low end of, you know, what we've been doing over the last, you know, few weeks here. We come all the way back in here, right? You know, we drive higher, we get through the low volume area, and we pop higher. We're going to price discovery, and we're going to push to the upside, and we're going to fill out this nice big daily bar here, right? That's option number 2. Option number 3, we're trapping longs all day, killing shorts, and we decide to pull back down. And I think a pullback to VWAP would be reasonable, right? Like, we don't have to flip the whole day. We don't have to completely dump here. But I think a pullback, towards VWAP could be something reasonable. And I could get on the right side of that even if we chop, right? Where I lose money if we push up here. Maybe I end, you know, small loss, break even if we just do this crap. And I take a W, maybe win, right? And I take a W if we pull one of those, right? I don't mind trying to structure a trade that way. So I'm watching the 49,000 evens right here, right? This is a pretty nice round number. Not to throw too many lines on the chart. But I'm watching this right here, 49,000 evens. We got quite a bit of liquidity on the book above there, and right at that level, and really not much else above. It's a dicey one. It's a dicey one. But I'm not done trading here, guys. I'm not done trading with you guys. Watching this drift higher, I'm curious. I'm eyeballing a short, man. I think it could be dicey to try this one. I don't know if we just drive higher. I think we could see one more pop to the upside, get through the 49,000 evens, clear out some liquidity up above price, and then catch a nice clean out to the downside. I'm applying some discretion here, guys, to decide to wait a little bit. As all of these drive higher. Just taking a look at ES, positive 10,000 on CVD, coming back up towards that 6,900 evens. That'd be a nice jump for it, but I think we could easily pop higher across all of these. NQ's got quite a bit at 25,000 even. I'm tempted on this up here. I don't know that we clean this out though. This is also going to be our initial balance high. Do I want to fade that? That's another question. We shall see. We shall see. We shall see. Chatty McChat chat. Appreciate you guys hopping on. Appreciate you hanging out. As always, thanks for being here, man. You guys are awesome. It'd be super boring sitting in my room by myself, streaming to nobody. Really appreciate you guys being here. Think Trump's speech and some Bob Markets data still okay. I think it's going to go below VWAP. Okay. I would say there's a resistance there, and it would go down. Maybe. Today, no giveaway. I don't know. Maybe. Maybe. You guys see new Apex. I saw some stuff coming out from Apex, some stuff coming out from Lucid as well. Top one is amazing prop. Appreciate you. We're talking about, talking about different restrictions on gold and all that fun stuff. Watching this thing continue to push higher, man. I'm tempted, guys. I'm tempted. I'm watching this for a potential short. NQ new highs of day. Yeah, could just be fading to drive higher on this one. A drive higher. I don't mind it. I think it's from the extreme. I really don't mind it. We gonna go 1,000 points on the day? Are we just gonna rip faces off? I don't know. I don't know. I think we might fail this and come back in. Again, it's a from the extreme trade. It's not the mean reversion off of the open trade. It's a reversal trade, you know, later into the session, which I don't like as much. Avoided a stop on the way up here. Give me a second chance all the way up here around yesterday's volume point of control. Friday's volume point of control, rather. We got value area high all the way up here outside of this area. Let's see. Do we fade it and then run a giveaway? What do you think, guys? Or are we just going to drive higher today? Sellers again. Sellers again up here. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-da. Do we want to short YM? Because I got short. Because I got short. Because I got short. Let's see. Again, reversion style trade. I'm looking at the 49,000 evens. I don't know that I want to short this right below that. I'd like a pop up here and then like a little bit of a reaction, you know, to try to keep myself out of just taking a rip my face off stop loss. But I'm getting ready to short this, guys. High 50s. No, we don't want it. We don't want the 49,000. Sellers again here. Do we want to come outside of this? Stay impatient, man. Really close to this IB high level. Yesterday's volume point of control, high volume node. You know, again, level to level, area of interest to area of interest. I think if we come outside of this, we're coming up here really quickly, and I'm taking a quick stop out. I think if we don't want to come outside of this, we chop around, like I said, or we start to sell back off towards VWAP, maybe back towards here. I wouldn't hold for this, you know, crazy take profit. That's just an arbitrary take profit. To throw something on the chart so I have an OCO order in case I step away, which I will likely eventually do. This will be a hold into the afternoon trade if I get one on. Yeah, not liking that IB high level. I'm not in on this, guys. I'm gonna wait for a crack above. I would take it. I would take it on a crack above, but I'm not in on this yet. Sorry for getting quiet here, guys. I'm just kind of locking in, trying to decide if I want this short. Yeah, I would take it up here. I'm not gonna take it in here. I would take it up here. I would take it up here through the 49,000 evens. You know, it's a level of liquidity. I at least can give myself that. We could certainly come right back down. Sellers are trying to take it lower. You know, we still have a growing CVD. The other ones are pushing the upside. This could be it, but I'm not going to take it right in here, guys. I wanted an aggressive push to the upside. You know, if we were going to come back up and I'm going to fade this break and retest structure, I'd want it outside here with a stupid wide stop loss. So we'll see if we get that. We're not done. We'll see if we get that, but I'm not going to take it below the 49,000s. I see us failing up here, which could be good. Could be a nice little continuation trade to the downside, right? If you're watching lower time frames, you could say, look, we're coming back down now. We're starting to get a reversal, double top. I'm not going to take it in here. I wanted to see a little clean out move up here. if I was going to go for it. I think we could come all the way back down, and this might be the opportunity. Again, really close, but if I'm going to do stuff like this, I want it to be really, really aggressive. So I'm going to leave this up just in case we pop back up. I'm going to keep my eye on Bookmap as I hang out with you guys, and maybe we do something fun. Maybe we do something that everybody likes. Let's see. Chatty McChat. We have. Hold on 1 second. We have a giveaway form in the chat right now, guys. Giveaway form is live in the chat. We are going to be giving away one of these brand new daily payout 50K challenge accounts to somebody in chat. No purchase necessary. That's right, guys. Not only are we giving away 5 of these, you're going to get an entry to win 1 of 5 if you use code RDF today only. Any purchases using code RDF at top 1 are going to be eligible to win 1 of 5 50Ks. You got to use the code. You got to do it today. But also, giveaway form is live in chat. Let me go ahead and explain it to you guys so we don't get yelled at real quick, because I don't even have my giveaway thing up here. I got so many other graphics. Number 1, you got to fill it out and follow the instructions. Whatever the instructions on the form are. No purchase necessary, but you got to click a couple buttons. You got to follow on a couple socials. You got to do a couple things. If you're not going to do that, just don't even bother, okay? Number 2, you got to be here in the live stream when we run the duck race. The duck race is just a random picker. We're going to do that maybe 10, 15 minutes or so, right? I'm going to hang out with you guys. I was waiting for a potential trade setup that looks like it's just going to go without me. You got to be here in stream to claim it. You got to say what's up in the chat. You have to literally say, yo, or something. Don't fill it out more than 1 time. Those are the rules. If you can't do those or you don't want to do those, no problem, man. Free means free. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to use a code. You don't have to fill the form out. I'll be here trading live and hanging out and talking about prop firms and talking about everything under the sun related to trading. If you fill it out and you don't follow one of the clearly stated instructions, you don't get the account. Very simple. Very, very simple. So giveaway form is in the chat. Go ahead and get it filled out. I'll give you guys, let's say we'll give you guys 5 minutes. Give you guys 5 minutes. Remember, code RDF, let me put it in the chat. Boom. We're talking about this. What's the minimum to take a payout? Minimum to take a payout is 500. So you have to make at least 1,000. No, you have to make at least 500 past the buffer, and then you could take a $500 payout. ES is just rejected off for the 50K account. ES is just rejected off of the February point of control. Okay, nice. Klein, what's up? Ducks are on holiday today. No, we got ducks. Jeez, guys, I know. Relax, yo. We're running duck races. Damn, y'all love the ducks, huh? Y'all love the ducks, dude. Listen, we're doing multiple giveaways today, guys. We're having fun today. What kind of entry confirmation do you use? I don't really use confirmations in the traditional sense. I don't really wait for confirmation, and this is going to be like a hot button issue, right? I don't wait for a candlestick pattern or a chart pattern or a volume pattern in the traditional sense. My confirmation, because if I was entering with absolutely no confirmation, I should just use a limit order or a stop order. So if I'm waiting for a little something to happen, my confirmation, I would say, would just be discretionary reading of price action, market structure, and order flow at the level. But I really don't wait for some kind of like candlestick pattern, right? I don't find that the market presents really easy, repeatable confirmations for these entry models that people love, right? If they did, it would just be too easy, right? Like that's just kind of not what happens. There's usually something you can wait for a little bit and some kind of rules to give you the, the actual point where you're going to pull the trigger on a trade. But like, I'm not a fan of waiting for some inversing fair value, bullish engulfing, bearish engulfing, like just general discretionary read of price action and market structure at the zone. But I'm much more of the belief that if you wait for a confirmation, it may never come, and you're going to have a worse entry and a worse, risk management, risk structure than if you just entered where you should have in the first place when price did what you were waiting for it to do. So again, I know this is kind of like hot button where people go no confirmation or wait for confirmation. Like, what kind of confirmation? So like, what kind of confirmation do I use? Just very general and discretionary reading of the bar, right, of price action at a level, or multiple bars of price action at a level, and a little bit of volume and order flow, right? But not in like the traditional sense where people are like, wait for a doji candle and a 3-bar reversal, and that's my entry confirmation off of a level. It's just usually just not as not as simple as that. So anyway, I hope that helps. Put your entry where your stop is. Yeah. Today that would have paid me. On that first potential trade. I didn't take any trade today so far, guys. I'm flat for the top 1 live account. That would have paid. Holy hell, right? Entry where the stop is. Oh, man. Thanks, Zach. Yeah, but again, guys, we got a giveaway form in the chat. Go ahead and get it filled out. Let's say I give you guys another 3 minutes. 9:26, we're going to run the ducks. 9:26, we are running the ducks. 9:26, excuse me, 11:26. Damn. Be right back, guys. Chat. What are we thinking, guys? What are we thinking? We think we want to run some ducks? I think we're going to run some ducks today. Let's see what we got. Appreciate you guys hopping on. Yeah, man. I don't know. This didn't look too bad. Right off of yesterday's volume point of control. That didn't look too bad, guys. I'm no trade so far, guys. Again, like I said right off the beginning, I wanted to let the market open up. Not looking for something, immediately into the open today. Conflict breaking, news breaking. Unfortunately, war. We're always praying for peace. But definitely got to Definitely got to watch how this market does play for the rest of the day because I'm interested, man. But in the meantime, let's go, guys. 30 seconds left. Get your form filled out if you want a chance to win one of these 50K Elite Daily Challenge accounts. Please, guys, follow the instructions on the form. Don't make it like don't make it like the other day where we had to rerun the thing 47,000 times. All right, let's run it. Let's run it. Let's run it. And remember, guys, anybody also, if you want more entries to win more accounts, anybody that uses code RDF today and today only will be entered to win one of 5 of these 50K Elite Daily accounts. All right, I see we got some latecomers. Come on, guys. 11:26. Last chance. Last chance. Last chance. Still going. Damn, are you guys sleeping today? What the hell? What the hell? All right, we're closed off. We're done. We're done. Good job, guys. Good job. Now comes the fun part. Not only do we run the ducks, but we see if anybody actually followed the instructions. So for the record, we're going to run the ducks right now, guys. We're going to do the giveaway. Remember, don't go anywhere after the ducks run because, number one, you got to be here to claim it. But also, if the person who wins doesn't follow the instructions, I'm running it back, okay? No, we're not even going to take a lot of time. I'm going to give you guys like 2-3 minutes to be in the chat and make sure everything's legit. We're going to get it done quick. All right? Let's go ahead and run it. Good luck, everybody. The ducks are off. As we sell off, man. YM. The shorts would have paid. Crazy. Shorts would have paid, guys. Shorts would have paid. All right, let's see who's got this one today, man. Let's see who's taking the W. Let's see who can follow instructions today. Alright. We got followers ready to get checked. Appreciate you guys hopping on. Remember, before anybody goes anywhere, real quick, these just launched with Top 1 Futures. Some of the best accounts that we've ever seen in the futures prop space. Again, best for you. Subjective, you got to figure that out for yourself. Daily payouts, no consistency rule and funded. No minimum trading days to pay out. End of day trailing drawdown, guys. No activation fee. They're a challenge account. You guys want to check these out? Link is about to be in the chat. Code RDF not only gets you the best deal, it also gets you an entry to win one of 5 of the accounts if you use it today. If you guys want to check it out, link is going to be in the chat. Shout out Top 1 Futures for dropping an absolutely awesome account. I'm super stoked on these. You guys let me know what you think. Y'all let me know what you think, but don't sleep on these. And if you're gonna grab one this week, maybe you grab it and you grab yourself a chance to win some extra accounts. Link is in the chat on YouTube and Kick. If you're watching on X and you want to check it out, link is in my bio. 30 seconds to go. Let's see who's gonna be trading one of these accounts today. Let's see who's getting funded, man. Chat. 5 seconds to go. Let's see. Oh, Fast Money. Fast Money Formula. Taking the W. I know he's in chat. Here's the question. Here's the question for Fast Money. Did you follow instructions, Fast Money? I hope. I really hope that you did. I'm sure you would have had to. Please. I'm gonna go ahead and check. Nobody go anywhere just yet. Fast Money, say what's up in the chat. I have to assume that you followed instructions on this one. I got to imagine, man. You couldn't have possibly not followed instructions, could you guys? Chat, do you guys want to start taking bets? W's in the chat. Yes, sir. Yeah, we got W's in the chat. He did follow instructions. He is following on IG. He did fill out the form correctly. We got W's in the chat. Fast Money. Going to be trading one of these 50K Elite Daily Challenge accounts from Top 1. This bad boy right here that just launched. No activation fee on these accounts, so I am excited to be able to give these away without having to worry about if people can pay for activation fees or not. Let me know what you think, brother, once you get to trade this thing. I'm excited to see it. And again, if you didn't win and you want a chance to win, anybody that purchases an account today using code RDF gets entered to win one of 5 of these. Not only are you getting the best discount, the absolute best discount, better than the email or the Discord or wherever you find, or at least as good as, you're also getting an entry to win one of 5 of these bad boys. Today only. Everybody that purchases today, March 2nd. Yeah, man. Getting more and copy trade them. There you go. Congrats. Nice, dude. Nice. Awesome. Watching the market here, man. Shorts for the play up here. Shorts for the play up here, guys. Before I go too much further, because I know a lot of people do hop off. I wanted the shorts up here. I didn't take them. Kept myself too patient. This would have been really nice. We did get a little bit of a reversal out of these. Certainly on YM. Nothing crazy out of NQ. Nothing crazy out of ES, but these are looking like they want to trend back down towards VWAP. We could be in for that larger move to the downside. I'm not so sure, but I really did feel like off of volume point of control from prior day, right off this high volume node would have been clean, man. But that's how it goes. I'm staying extra patient today. Staying extra patient in the morning would have helped me. Staying extra patient up here hurt me. Flat for the day. Let's see what we get from here. But guys, remember, you guys want to check this out, code RDF, link is in the chat. Couple quick notes for me before anybody goes anywhere. No stream tomorrow through Friday of this week. I'm traveling. I got podcasts, interviews, trip to Colombia with a bunch of traders in the Top 1 team. I promise I'll be having a ton of videos and content and everything after this. I'm going to be vlogging a whole bunch of it. I got podcasts with ASFX and a lot of those guys coming out after the trip as well. Stay tuned on socials, on X, on YouTube, on IG. I will throw it in the chat right now. Here's my IG if you guys want to stay up on what I actually got going on outside of just the charts itself. There you go. If you want to check out the 100% free trading Discord where I'm doing even more of the same good sauce on here. There it is, guys. Appreciate you guys for being here. Thank you. Remember, quick disclaimer. I'm not a financial advisor. I don't provide financial advice. Nothing I say or do is suggestion or recommendation to do anything at all. Make sure you do your own research. Make your own trading decisions. Read CFTC Rule 4.41 on simulated trading, which is what this is, even if funded prop from accounts. And the affiliate and partnership disclaimer. This is I say to make money from links and codes in my content. Like Top 1 Futures, code RDF, Bookmap, and others. Can't be a bias if I stand to make money. I do. Important for me to be transparent about that. For you to do your own research, make your own decisions. Appreciate you guys being here, man. Let me know what you think of these accounts. I'll be talking to you guys in Discord. I'll see you guys on IG. I'll see you guys on socials. I'll see you guys here back on YouTube in a ton of videos that I got dropping on these accounts on Top 1. And then back here live Monday next week. Appreciate you guys for being here. Thank you so much. Hope you have an awesome rest of the week. Trade safe with the craziness going on in the world. And pray for peace, man. Always looking to pray for peace. Talk to you guys soon. Have an awesome rest of your Monday.